Greetings. Welcome to OneSoft Solutions Webcast. It is now my pleasure to introduce your host, Dwayne Kirshnick, Kirshnerkick, CEO and President. Thank you. You may begin.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to watch my presentation today. My name is Dwayne Kirshnerk. I'm the CEO of OneSoft Solutions, Inc. Our company trades as OSS on the Toronto Venture Exchange and OSSIF on the OTCQB. We have developed revolutionary technology that's based on machine learning, data science, and cloud computing that assists oil and gas pipeline operators to achieve their objective of zero pipeline failures and thereby save lives, protect the environment. The key takeaways from this slide, OneSoft has a $34 million market cap and a strong balance sheet with $10.5 million in cash and no debt. We operate a SaaS business model with very sticky recurring revenue. Our clients to date have entered into long-term agreements, the shortest being 3, the longest being a 10-year term. Our solution has been strongly validated by our clients who are Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies. And in fact, our client list includes one of the industry super majors. You'll also see that the insider ownership of the company is high at 34%. For those of you who have been following the company, please bear with me. You've heard parts of this presentation before, but I will also discuss some new developments. For new followers who may not be familiar with our company, welcome. By way of history, our management team has worked together since 2004. Our last software startup involved on-premise computing solutions that we sold globally with Microsoft's help. We began to invest and pioneer in cloud computing as far back as 2011, well before the rest of the pack, while we grew that company. We sold our prior business in 2014 to focus on born-in-the-cloud computing and paid most of the gain on that sale to our shareholders. We retained our cloud IP, our cloud experts, and reorganized to form OneBridge Solutions in 2015 to develop solutions for the oil and gas pipeline industry. In late 2015, OneSoft was selected as one of 9 companies to participate in Microsoft's first accelerator for machine learning and data science. Microsoft recognized that we were the only company selected from the oil and gas space. We had the technology team and the vision to disrupt the industry with machine learning and advanced data science. The bottom line for us was our participation in Accelerator catapulted us ahead of competitors and set the stage for Microsoft's ongoing assistance to help us sell our products worldwide. We believe we now have a significant competitive moat and are aware of no other machine learning solution that has been commercialized to date globally. And we don't see anybody in our rearview mirror today. PHMSA is the U.S. regulator for oil and gas pipeline operators. They report some discouraging metrics based on 20 years of data. Nearly 2 pipeline incidents occur somewhere in the U.S. every day. These are costly, they lead to injuries, fatalities, and environmental damage. And we believe that machine learning data science provide the only plausible way to reduce these failures. So what happens in the industry today? The industry has been collecting inline inspection data for decades using a tool called a PIG, or a pipeline inspection gauge. It's shown on the left side of your screen. So it's a tool that has an odometer wheel and an array of sensors that's pushed down the pipe by the product, collecting data as it travels. So following a pig run, the pig vendors then provide these inline inspection data sets to the pipeline operators as very large Excel and PDF files. Engineers then try to compare the latest Excel spreadsheet to find anomaly growth rates and threats by comparing numbers in the spreadsheet to prior spreadsheets. This is a manual process, very inefficient and costly, and because of the amount of data, about 95% of this data is filtered out and not considered. In fact, at 4 of our 6 clients who have signed to date, including the industry super major, Excel was the only software used to manage this entire integrity management process. So instead of engineers trying to find answers by looking at tens of thousands of numbers in a spreadsheet, we present information with real-world context. Let me show you how this is done. A little background about what you're going to see. I'm going to play a short demo that allows you a glimpse of the software. So following Accelerator, we engaged Phillips 66 as our first beta client who gave us a sampling of data to analyze. Phillips is a very progressive company. They had a comprehensive internally developed software running on Oracle on-premise, but no machine learning or data science. By late 2016, we completed our first version of SIM and identified a number of threats that Phillips' system did not identify. They then did excavations to inspect and verify whether our predictions based on our machine learning algorithms were correct and whether they matched their truth data. As it turns out, our predictions were accurate. So Phillips became our first commercial client in January of 2017 and gave us data for 10,000 miles of pipeline. By the end of 2017, Phillips had the opportunity to learn much more about the capabilities of machine learning, and they decided to give us their IP and funding to migrate their Oracle system to the Microsoft cloud. So the solution, I'm going to press the play button. As I talk, you'll just see the software run in the background. So in 2018, we engaged 2 additional pipeline operators to Phillips 66 and started to develop this horizontal application that addresses most functions required by pipeline operators worldwide. So we integrated our machine learning and predictive analytics with the logistics of Phillips' solution. And we released SIM 3.0 in late 2018 and now own this IP for a full solution that can really be used by any pipeline operator globally. So our footprint increased dramatically from analytics only to an integrated cradle-to-grave solution that handles operational logistics, regulatory compliance matters, and predictive analytics. As you see in this demo, SIM is, I'm just going to pause it for a sec here. SIM is 100% cloud and browser-based. It includes numerous dashboards and heat maps for role-based users. It presents the numbers in spreadsheets as intuitive information in the context of the real world. We can use things like Cortana or natural query language to find information. For example, show me the top 15 pipelines by anomaly counts. SIM includes planning functions, and a wide variety of reports and data can be filtered as required by the operator. It's designed to allow users to simply drag and drop their Excel files onto our applications, and our algorithms automatically ingest and normalize that data so that it can all be used. Users can determine PHMSA mandated requirements and filter their data to match their own operating conditions. They can identify and categorize mitigation of threats as immediate, 60-day, 180-day, whatever is required to meet regulatory compliance. As we go on, you'll see that data is presented in 3D intuitive formats and mapped to the real world. The anomalies on multiple pig runs are matched pit to pit. So what that means is we trace every anomaly to where it first showed up on any pig run, which could have been 20 years ago. This enables us to track the historic growth of each individual anomaly and determine with accuracy when that anomaly will fail in the future. Because SIM analyzes 100% of the data, we can find patterns that lead to failure. This is not possible to do using Excel, where only a small fraction of the available data is analyzed. So, as you can see, we're picking up these patterns on the pipe. Now imagine here is a pipeline next to a swimming pool in a subdivision, a high consequence area. Imagine trying to find this threat by looking at numbers in a spreadsheet. This is the way we're changing this industry. Clients who use SIM experience very high value propositions. So based on the data we've collected over the past 3 years, we believe that we can improve repair ratios by 15 or 20% in some cases. Now, for a company who has an annual budget of $50 million for excavation and repair, that translates 7.5 to 10 million in savings per year. As Microsoft determined prior to inviting us to participate in Accelerator, machine learning can disrupt the billion-dollar expenditure for integrity management data evaluation spent by the industry annually. The green piece is our sweet spot. The pie chart on the left displays the U.S. market. The one on the right is a global market. So that's our this is the piece. This is the piece of revenue that we are disrupting. Our initial go-to-market focus is on U.S. customers. The market potential in the U.S. is very large: 2.7 million miles of pipe in total, and about 660,000 miles in our immediate sweet spot. That's pipeline which already has inline inspection data. PHMSA is mandating regulatory compliance, and we provide that the solutions for these new requirements. We're using an economic consumption model. So as we add more functionality to our solution, customers who want this functionality will generate additional revenue for us. Our current highest priority focus is to engage new customers in a land and expand strategy. We also expect to evolve our algorithms to interpret external data sets, for example, what type of soil, steel type, coating, temperature, seismic, so on, and to extend our solution to evaluate pipelines that don't have inline inspection data. We have very strong reseller partners with international operations in focus, that being Microsoft and one of the largest engineering firms who works in oil and gas, Worley Engineering. Our SaaS business model generates recurring revenue, which we anticipate will continue to increase year over year. The blue bars you're looking at, they indicate the historic recurring revenue growth by quarter. We more than doubled the recurring revenue component in 2019 over 2018, and we expect to again more than double that in 2020 over 2019. The green bar indicates revenue from the Phillips project, which is non-repeating revenue. We do expect more of these one-time non-repeating revenue events as we spool up our innovation lab to fast-track development of new solutions that the industry is asking for. While today's focus is on U.S. oil and gas pipeline customers, we believe we have future opportunities to adapt our technology for the water and sewer industry and also the rail and rail transit industries. So the common denominator is this. Our proprietary algorithms and technology is transferable for markets where big data can be collected over distance and where managing assets as smart infrastructure is a priority. A few points to wrap up. We have first mover advantage. We are the first company to have aggregated data for this industry, sort of the Google of pipeline integrity. We've now analyzed tens of thousands of miles of pipeline, and we have learnings from more than 60 million features. Nobody else worldwide has this today, and we believe this presents a terrific opportunity to monetize our learnings as data as a service or learnings as a service. Operators strongly support the shared learning approach, so they're able to benefit without sharing their confidential data. And we have insight that the industry does not have today. Our solution has been strongly validated by industry leaders, and we're riding this digital transformation wave that's just starting to occur in oil and gas. Our business model is high margin SaaS. Our financial models show that we can expect somewhere north of 50% EBITDA once we reach the $10 million revenue mark, and it increases from there. We've established strong sales partners and now are getting worldwide reach with our solution. We have a clean cap structure and sufficient capital to grow the business. Management is certainly aligned with investors, 34% ownership by insiders. We've had successful prior exits and delivered value to shareholders. I think we've used our time here, but we'll see if we have a few questions. This had to come up. The first question is about, given the backdrop with the oil price and the COVID, what does that mean for our business? Well, essentially, our business is not greatly affected by the oil price. We're working in the midstream sector, so this is transporting oil. Our clients generally sign long-term contracts to transport product, and their revenue stream is not affected by the price of oil. So we don't expect much pushback from the oil price. The COVID situation, nobody really knows what's going to happen, but if it's done anything, it has really underscored the value of cloud computing, of digital transformation. We've found with our clients that they have essentially been able to move from office environment to home work environments without missing a beat. And that's because all of their data is in the cloud. They don't need to run around the office looking for files that they need to manage their infrastructure. We have a question about sales cycles, how they have changed in the last 6 months and what the time is from engagement to signing a pilot and from the pilot to commercial launch. This is a long sales cycle. It's taken us between 1 and 3 years to actually get clients signed. And often what will happen is we'll enter into a pilot project that then gets put on the back burner for various reasons. In fact, our last client that we signed in 2019, we first talked to them in 2017. We went through a very successful pilot with them, and they put that on the back burner in their company for almost a year before they came back to us and said, okay, we're now ready to implement this. So we believe that this will all indications are that this pattern will continue. I think the important thing to note is our sales pipeline is very full. It's increasing. And as we're getting more and more clients signed on and familiar with the software, we believe this is going to be helpful to sort of take us over that tipping point where our solution starts to become the new de facto standard for these operators. I believe that's it for our time, so I have to hand this back. Thanks again, everybody, and please reach out if you have more questions or if you want a copy of the slide deck. We'd love to talk to you on an individual basis. Thanks again.
Thank you. This does conclude today's webinar. You may disconnect your lines at this time, and thank you for your participation.